What up, YouTube? This is Mr. Willis, and this is Waking Up with Mr. Willis. We back at you for another quick reaction. This one is from New Breed, and this one is called They Are Secretly Watching You, Want to See You Suffer. So yeah, I wanted to really get into this one because this is my life story. So let's get into this video and you're going to catch my reaction, but I just really want you to catch the points he giving, the jewels he dropping. So we're going to get into this together and see what he's talking about. Let's go.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another video. Listen, brothers and sisters, everyone don't have your best interests at heart. Some people secretly want to see
And that's including family and friends. Including family and friends.
suffering. Make no mistake about that. And it's not because of something you did to them. It's because of your light. See, your light exposes their condition. And the book of Genesis speaks about this in the 45th chapter. It is the very same reason that Cain murdered his brother Abel. It wasn't something that Abel did to Cain. It was simply his light. And a lot of you brothers and sisters carry that very same light. You carry that anointing. And you got to be mindful because there's people who watch you. Some people watch you from a distance. And some people got a bird's eye view. And they're watching you up close. And what I want you to keep in mind is there's certain telltale signs to be mindful of. If you are around people, such as people in your immediate circle, that you find yourself being met with resistance every time you are seeking positive feedback from them, when you are seeking encouragement, when you are seeking some type of, validation at all, and you're met with resistance continually, the issue is those people don't want to see you progress. They don't want to see you become a better version of yourself. So they rather discourage than encourage. They rather degrade than upgrade. And you must get away from those type of people because secretly they want to see you broken. And a lot of the times it's because when you're in that position, you're easier to control and manipulate. They don't want you to know your value, so they devalue you. They don't want you to reach your full potential because your light holds up a mirror to their shortcomings. Your light holds up a mirror to the things that they are not willing to address that's wrong with themselves. So you got to make sure that you got people around you who are willing to grow with you. And if they're not, then you got to separate yourself from those individuals. And then you got people who watch from a distance who are salivating at the moment you are destroyed. I mean, they're anticipating your downfall. They want to see you lose connections or relationships you may have. They want to see you lose everything you work for. They want to see you.
And that's where the smear campaign come in. They're going to smear your name, drag it through the mud, tell everybody about some incident they was into with you, but the people they talking to never been in an incident with you, never seen nothing, but they will still believe the gossiper. And that takes me back to when Eve was the first person to go through the pillow talk. That's how I see it. Like, she was the first one to be lied to, deceived, and then she was the one who let him in. And it's the same trick that I see every day. The pillow talking niggas come through talking, lying, and then these people, they will believe them. Like, have no evidence, never seen you out of character, never seen nothing of that of you, but they will believe the smear campaign. So that lets me know they at fault more than the people who telling the lie. Let them continue.
You lose your mind. They want you to have a mental breakdown. They would enjoy that.
But I stand strong.
They want to see you distraught. And I'm going to tell you, don't give these people the pleasure of seeing that. Don't do it, brothers and sisters. See, a lot of you brothers and sisters who done been through it all, your resilience is seen. They know who you are. And there's a lot of people jealous of your strength, and they want to see you broken. Don't give them that. See, in life, we all go through things. And I want you to be mindful. You don't have to look like what you're going through. You don't have to behave like what you're going through. You know, some people would enjoy that, enjoy seeing you hurt. Don't give them that. They don't deserve that. So you got to keep it together. You know, a lot of the times,
they don't deserve your presence. Don't even give them that. They don't even deserve your energy.
People are having breakdowns on social media, airing out everything they're going through in life, and it tends to create a very emotional environment. And a lot of the times connections are formed off of trauma bonding. You don't want that. You want connections formed off of strength.
And that's what I say too. I don't want no connections off no trauma bonding. That's why if I ever tell my testimony, it's hard for me to do it because I don't want to seem like I'm a victim of circumstances, you know. But it is what it is, huh? You know what I mean? These portrayers was the ones who violated your name, lied on you, took situations where it wasn't even that, but they made these situations where, you know, it's like you came at them, but it was like actually you were just tired of all the bullshit over the years. You know, you seen them for who they were, for what they was worth. But once you get of a age where you get in motion, you got a name for yourself, it's time for you to step up against all these, you know, these portrayers and all these accusations, you know. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna be face to face with all these people and you're gonna have to point the finger and show them, you know, that you've seen everything they did, you know, and you're gonna have to stand on that light. Because there's a time in a man's life, enough is enough. And you're gonna have to separate and go on your own. So that time has came and passed, you know. And it's that time where it's no looking back. We reached a point of no return. It's no return. It's just moving forward.
And so that's something that you got to really be mindful about because they want to see you suffering. And what you must realize, a lot of people gain their identity through comparison.
And then what's crazy about it, they want to see you suffer, but when they come in your presence, they want to act like they ain't said nothing, they ain't did nothing. But you know, they know you know. You know what I mean? That's what's so crazy about these people. You know they want to see you suffer. But then when they come in your face and want to act like they're your best friends and they never said this and you know what I mean? These people are weird. It's weird. But let them keep going.
And really, it's just being covetous. They're looking at the next person, seeing how that person is doing. And that is typically used as a parameter to how their life is going. And so they feel good about a person who is actually struggling, suffering. It makes that person feel superior in their life. And really, whatever's going on in another person's life, um, unless you are cool with that individual, unless you're supportive of that person, it's really just a distraction from your own problems that you may have to deal with. And the Bible is very candid about us focusing on our own, and that's why it's important. And you got to really veer off from people who secretly like to see people suffering. Y'all know these people.
You know,
How many of y'all have had people run back to you, gossiping about the next person? Oh, you heard that this person lost that job. Oh, I heard that they don't have that vehicle no more. Oh, I heard that this couple broke up. Oh, I heard that that happened. I heard.
that's all
How
they
many of y'all
do.
have had that happen to you, and all you could think to yourself is, why you seem so happy about it? Why are you so joyous about knowing someone else had a down?
Or why you just so comfortable with gossiping? That's just it. Like, always spreading somebody business. Why are you so comfortable? Always having this person name in your mouth. People ain't even seen you probably in 15, 20 years and still got your name in their mouth. Like, consequences gonna happen.
Of some sort. And that goes to show how much misery loves company. That goes to show how wicked people are in this society. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, as brothers and sisters in the truth, you cannot display that type of behavior. You know, the scriptures tell us that the Most High would rather that people repent, live their lives, and come back to Him. He don't stand nothing to gain seeing people fall. You know, so we shouldn't. The Most High would rather that people come back around and do what's right, so on and so forth. And we should think the very same way. You know, we should think the very same way. We should hope that, people come around and they repent. You may have fallen out with certain people. All you can do is hope the best for them. You know, perhaps, you know, you just didn't align with that person or people. And it's not always one sided. And it takes a certain level of maturity to actually comprehend that. It's not always one sided. And perhaps there's certain things that you got to work on as a person. And it's things that those people have to work on. But nonetheless, to be sitting around waiting to see somebody suffer is a demonic spirit. And, you see that in the religious community all the time, where people would just be sitting back anticipating wanting to see somebody hurt. That's nothing godly about that. You got to learn how to forgive, even if a person has not seeked forgiveness from you. You got to forgive for you. And when you're a person who is continually looking to see somebody else destroyed, that will rob you of your own joy. That means you are not spending enough time looking forward, looking at your future. You're not spending enough time working on yourself if that's where your energy is going. Now, make no mistake about it, people are going to get what they got coming. What goes around comes around. Karma is real. If you are out here doing people dirty, it's going to come back around. And that's the Most High's judgment.
Yeah.
However, y'all got to understand that everybody that seem to be in your corner may not really be truly on your side. You got to really pay attention to people. Understand that people have motives. And more often than not, when they can't gain anything from you, they become very contentious towards you, you know? And it's a time like never before where there's a lot of narcissists running these streets, and their goal is to leech off of your energy. Their goal is to take everything that is you. And they don't really plan on building themselves up and building their own character up. All they do is leech off the next person. All they do is find emotional codependency as an outlet, and they have their supplies. That's what it's called, a narcissistic supply, where they are basically just feeding off of people. And listen, when they don't have nothing to feed off of, they disregard you completely. When you set boundaries for yourself, when you let it be clear and let it be known that you can see them for who they are, you'll be discarded from those people. But secretly, they'll pray that you'll be destroyed. And nonetheless, if you got people in your immediate circle that have red flags, you find yourself in disarray when you're around these individuals. It's constant confusion. You feel your energy being drained around these people. You're around people who are dedicated in misunderstanding you. If you have that going on in your life, remove yourself. Do what it takes. Pull the plug, rip the band aid off, whatever you want to call it, but you got to do it. And as far as these other people out here who are waiting on your downfall, don't give them the pleasure. Don't give them the joy of seeing you distraught. Keep it together, hold your head up, continue moving forward. You may be going through a lot of things. I know a lot of you brothers and sisters go through things that you can't even discuss. A lot of y'all are winning victories in small battles in private. And some of you
You
all have
can't
a
tell
testimony
nobody.
that you can't even share.
Won't
Um,
share, huh?
some of y'all are just going through it. But when it comes to these people out here who are viewing, these onlookers, these critics, don't give them the joy of them seeing you hurt and
Their
distraught.
opinion doesn't
That's
matter.
like a weird kink for these people. That's like a fetish for them to just sit there and salivate on trying to see somebody.
And that's how, like, I have people who won't never call you, won't call your phone for nothing, but then wanna, soon somebody pass away or some bad news, they reaching out through all kind of means and say, oh, this person, or soon some bad news, they ready to reach out, like, you know what I mean? They ready to tell you something bad, or this person you was close to passed away. You know what I mean? Like, those people, I can't stand them. Like, don't tell me nothing. I already heard through the grapevine this person passed away, but you so quick to tell me some bad news, but you don't call on no other day, say nothing, see how you doing or nothing. Like, these people are weird. You know what I mean? But they got their time and they got their place. It's coming.
Destroyed. So, but just know it's real. It exists. Some people are watching y'all on social media. They're never commenting, but they're viewing. They're looking at your stories. They're doing all of that. But the moment something bad happened, they're there. When you got accomplishments, things that you're doing,
I just
they may not be there. So you got to be lookout. You got to look out for that too. You can be overcoming some things. You could be upgrading yourself. You could be leveling up, and nobody really shows up for that. They act like they don't see it. They ignore it, but they see it. But if something negative is going on, then some people will corral you to try to get close because they just want to see you hurting. And you just got to watch out for people like that. But nonetheless, one love to y'all. It's an honor and a blessing to be able to chop.
All right, this is New Breed Global Truth. Y'all go check him out. But this video was like, it was something necessary to be shown, man, because this is how people move out here, man. They'll watch you praying and hoping you downfall, and see any kind of good accomplishment, they won't say nothing. But soon something bad happens, they the first one to reach out. That's how you know they watching. I'm like, you quick to reach out and tell me something about something that happened, like somebody passed away, and you know what I mean? Like, look, for one, I separated myself from people a long time. If you ain't talked to me in 3 months, don't even call my phone. If I ain't talked to you in 3 or 4, 5 months, we are not friends. Like, we are nothing. Move around just like I did. Because once they persecute your name and drag your name through the mud and have a smear campaign, just it's time to move on to the next city. You know what I mean? Because it's love out there. And you might get more love from strangers than people who know you. You know what I mean? So it's just a good video, man. You know, watch out for the haters because they're always watching. You know what I mean? And just move accordingly, you know? It's Mr. Willis. I like you to like, share, subscribe, type of shit. And we on to the next one. Have a good one. Peace.